the negative outcomes that a situation can lead us to, we get into this trap of overthinking, right? So if you catch yourself the next time thinking too much about the negative, about something negative, I want you to please stop yourself from that. Just get detached from that thinking, and shift your attention to a positive perspective, right? It could be most of the time it's like we always think, okay, what if this fails? What if this happens? What if that happens? And that what if is most probably it is because it is a negative situation, right? So the next time I wanted you to shift that perspective into what if that turns out to be an amazing thing that I'm going to try? What if that is an amazing decision that I'm going to take, right? Just shift your perspective. That is like an instant kick that I would say that works like magic as you shift the perspective from thinking what if it's wrong to what if that works out, right? That is like an instant thing you can try. And I understand. Sorry, I'm just trying to admit people. Sorry about that. Yes, all good. So that overthinking is actually a huge topic, right? Overthinking is huge, and I'm sure everyone has a different overthinking perspective. Like it varies from what one person overthinks onto and what other person overthinks onto, right? And there is no one size that fits into all solution, right? So what I'm trying to cover here is something that is very generic that anyone can use based on your situation. That's what this 30 minutes call is going to be. And if you needed any specific help, you can reach out to me later, right? If you think what I'm about to suggest makes sense to you, you can just reach out to me as well, right? And thinking is actually good. Thinking, of course, for anything before you purchase something or before you wanted to decide something, you have to think, right? But when it becomes too much, that is when there is a problem, right? That's when all the problem arrive, when it happens too much, right? So I've got this 8 best ways to beat the overthinking. These are 8 practical steps that you can really try, or the things that you should be really mindful about when it comes to overthinking, right? The first one is the problem is rarely the problem at all. So there is a saying in Tamil, சின்ன விஷயத்தையும் ஊதி 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 அப்படியே பெருசாக்கிடுவாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So it's like you trying to inflate, let's say this is a small stone and you're trying to inflate that small stone and it becomes like a huge rock, right? Just because you have inflated it with air, it has become like a huge problem now. So considering that as an example, I wanted you to think about it. Let's say majority of the problem is actually caused by you thinking the way, you portraying a problem. It happens in your mind, the way you portray that problem using your thoughts, how you imagine it. That is where all the harm is being caused. That's the majority of the reason, right? It happens in your head, the way you think about a problem, right? And only the minority of the portion, let's say 5% to 1%, is where the real problem itself. It could be the reality or the outcome that the reality yields to. So I wanted you to keep this in your mind. The next step, whenever you think about a thing, think about a problem, just keep this in your mind before you make any decision, right? Is that a real problem, or is it something that you are trying to inflate it and make it worse, right? The second is avoid self-rejection, and act despite the fear. What that means. So let's say you've got a job opportunity or something, and but you feel like you don't deserve that opportunity at all. You don't deserve to be in that place, or you don't deserve to apply for that position, or you don't deserve to pursue that, whatever that could be, right? I wanted you to just go apply for it anyways, irrespective of whatever that is that resistance is stopping you from. Just go apply for it, because we always feel like we are not enough and we self-sabotage ourselves. We could be great at that, but it's just our own resistance which is actually stopping us from pursuing anything or doing anything, right? I wanted you to talk to your the negative resistance, just suppress it and just go for it anyway, any which ways, right? So, and there could be few situations where you wanted to try, but you have been thinking, if I should not, what are the best possible ways. You have been thinking, doing a lot of research about it. In that particular situation, I wanted you to set a deadline. I also did a video on this where you can actually set a deadline. Sorry, again, I'm just trying to admit people. Yes, I want you to set a deadline. Okay, this is the date till when I'm allowed to do a research about this topic or about my decision, whatever I wanted to take. You can do a good research about that, do all the analysis, paralysis, whatever it is. Before the deadline, you're allowed to do all of it, right? But once you are over the deadline, I wanted you to give a try. No matter what, just give a try. Only when you give a try, you will understand if that is going to work for you as you're progressing, right? Sorry, again, I'm just trying to admit people. Yeah. So sorry about this excuse. Next time I'll make sure I correct this. Yeah, when I send the invite, I'll make sure everyone are admitted in. Thank you. So yeah, so the next time, set a deadline. Till then, you do all the research, possible research, and you come up with a solution with the given time, whatever you can. Just come up with a solution and just go for it. Try it. Only thinking, it is only going to waste your time, your energy, all of it, right? So give a deadline and just act it before you think about it, because you have set that deadline only after you did a lot of research. Now it's time for you to act with that deadline and see how it goes. Only as you are progressing, you will understand if that is something that really suits you, where you wanted to work on, what better changes can be made, and all of it, right? So yeah, and nobody knows, of course, nobody knows the end results before you even get started. We cannot expect to see the mountaintop view when you are, far away from it. You can only see it as you are progressing closer. As we get closer to that destination, only then we can actually see the mountain, hill, top, or whatever it is, right? So just think about the progress. Only in the way of you progressing, you will able to understand all of it. And don't be too hard on yourself, right? You are this little poor soul who is trying to meet everyone's expectation, your own expectation if it's huge, right? Just have a lot of compassion towards you. You are the one soul who is going to travel with you forever, with as long as you are alive, right? So have a lot of empathy, a lot of compassion to your own self. Just take good care of yourself. That is really important. The positive self talks that you have to your own self is really the key, right? And third is silence and time. So most answers cannot be found when you are in a chaotic situation. When you're overthinking, at that state, not much clarity can be gained, right? So I want you to get into isolation where you have got a quiet, silent time where you can just think about it, reflect what you wanted to do. A good thing to do is that you can journal about all your emotions, like all, not just emotion, and also about whatever that is, that is going on in your mind. If you're new to journaling, it's just that it's basically you putting all your thoughts that is running in your mind into paper, so that your brain doesn't have to, consume too much energy by thinking. Say, do you know that so for example, females, women, especially when we are cooking in the morning, right? If we keep thinking, what am I going to cook, what am I going to cook, that consumes a lot of energy. Rather, if you have a meal plan and everything ready, it is going to help you save so much of the day, where you don't waste too much energy just by thinking, because thinking actually consumes a lot of energy. Really drains you when you're just constantly thinking. So rather, whatever thoughts you have, just journal it. Or you can also send a message to yourself. You've got this WhatsApp where you can message your own self, right? You can do a voice message, whatever you are comfortable with. You can also have a mirror talk to your own self. Just went out all that, whatever you're going through, what is that, where you wanted to make a decision, all of it, so that over the period, as you reflect back, you will understand, okay, this is where I needed to work on. Okay, this could be the positive, possible right decision that I wanted to focus on, right? So you will definitely gain clarity as you are doing that, right? And one more thing is that if you can't immediately get a solution, I highly recommend you to stop trying that, like, because that is when you're thinking too much about it, it is going to yield you into overthinking process, where it's just draining your energy, and eventually you get into this negative pattern. Rather, as you're thinking, if you're unable to find solution, just give it some time. They say, right, time really heals. So think that, okay, with time I'm going to get the solution. Don't be too hard on yourself where you wanted to immediately fix it, right? Everything takes some time. For few things, it really, time is the answer, right? So there, I wanted, first thing is, find an answer when you are in a silent, quiet place, and also reflect using journaling, and with time you will be able to get it right. So that is about it. And fourth one is, ask this really important question: is there anything that I can do to change the past, or to positively influence the future? Is there anything that I can do? Just ask yourself this question. If the answer is yes, then 100% go do it immediately. Take action. Whatever the action could be, just take the action, right? If the answer is no, you cannot do anything about it, then have a peace with it. Just let it go. Just let it go. Have a peace with it. If it is like you wanted to forgive yourself, just do it. If you want to forgive someone, just do it. It's just because you holding on to that thing is only going to drain your energy. Truly. Rather, you can use that energy to, productively and proactively use it for something else that you can use it for later, right? So always keep this in your mind. Anything else that you are going to do is only going to self harm you. So have peace with it. Let it go. There's also one more saying where Buddha says, it's like you drinking a poison when you are, when you're being angry, or when you are, trying to hurt your own self or someone. It's like you drinking the poison and you're expecting someone to die. You drinking the poison and expecting someone to die. That is not possible. Just because you are overthinking, just because you are being so angry, just because you are into this fear emotion, whatever the negative thing is, it is like you drinking that poison, but you're expecting the other person or someone to die. That is not how it is, right? So just think about this as well, based on whatever situation you are currently overthinking with. And the fifth one is the power of now. So what you can do now can sometimes fix your past, but 100% you will have a good future, and also have a peaceful present moment, right? So that is the power of now. Make a peace, as I was discussing before, make a peace with yesterday and let it go. So you're only using that energy to grab hold of the present now, something that is really important, that is going to be productive for you. And yeah,